Map number 2 on our first best of 3 today. Into the right side of the map we have the FXO player. He's starting in the red. It's the Zerg called
FXO Reno.
Lina down a game here, but highly favored by most fans, I would say, in this series.
He's up against the Protoss. Starting to the left side we have the Casper player. And his idea is, of course,
SK Telecom T1 Rain.
Rain looking good in the last game.
Yeah, I mean, basically, he played straight up. There was nothing incredible about his play, but he didn't make any mistakes that were critical. So he just capitalized on that engagement, then controlled the rest of the game with his forces, used Zealot harassment, just like you would expect from a top-level player, and he did it.
I like this map awareness quite a bit. We talked about this run-by force that Lenog always had at the bottom right, and when he finally was confident in using it, there was just nothing that he could do. He did a little bit of damage. He took down a cannon or two and killed like 7 probes, but he sacrificed a lot of roaches, banelings, and also zerglings for it.
Oh, wow.
And look at this. He's actually blocking the pool.
That was very annoying. I want to mention as well, you know, you're right about the map, whereas part of that comes from how many observers he made. That meant he was not only able to spot all sorts of run-bys and unit movements, but he was also able to know which direction the mutas were approaching him from, where he should have his stalkers, and that sort of thing can really add up. And it allowed him to see where the Spire was as well, and that allowed him to prepare the cannons, which that's something I want to talk about that he did that really stands out for his play versus other players. You know, some players have been known to make 3 cannons at every base, and that's where people are like, oh, okay, yeah, he's really committed to that, but he made like 8 cannons at every base, and that was the kind of thing that really hurt Lenog with his harassment with the Mutalisk.
Rain is starting things with the Nexus first once more, starting to transition into Forge play. Nothing out of the ordinary. Lenog was a little bit blocked with the pool, as we pointed out earlier, but of course this doesn't affect his builds at all. It just makes sure that his pool is like 2 seconds later, the Queen as well. It's annoying, but it's not going to really affect him a lot.
It's the same thing as like mineral mining harassment, but in this case actually more important. There's little things like that. It's good to see players doing. We talked about the sock folding technique, the acceleration trick that you can do in StarCraft 2 right now, and how that's pretty cool.
Lenog with a super fast third here. He's actually building his third base now at 4 minutes.
By the way, I wanted to give a shout out to This Is Game for doing an interview with Choya that I read recently, which you can see the translated version on TeamLiquid.net. If you go to the top right and search for Choya, I think it's the first thing that'll pop up. I definitely recommend checking out that interview, get some insights about Choya. Just wanted to mention that briefly before we have these Lings go to check for the Forge. He wants to see if he's researching +1. Obviously, that's not going to be the time yet.
And of course, we want to know what exactly the transition for Rain is going to be. And just lately, we've seen a lot of 2-base pressure, either with a heavy gateway commitment or with just 1 Stargate, then the +1 upgrade, and Stargate with a few gateway units, 4 gates in total.
Look at this. This is not only for the blocking or scouting of the +1, but also to spot the probe that's moving out. And the probe will get by, but he knows where it is exactly now. And I'm a little bit surprised he's still following with all 4 here.
Yeah, he should definitely just follow it with 1 or 2.
Because now a second probe could come out potentially as well. And he's also not going to be able to scout for that +1 like he would want to. And the Queen is going to say, nope.
It's going to be important for Lenog to think already about what he's going to do later on. He wants to have the Overlords in position to scout what's going on in Rain's main base, what the transition is going to be. And we have 1 at the natural and 1 already in the main base. So Lenog will definitely scout very soon what exactly is coming. And, well, we have Warp Gate research already been started, but so far Rain neither committing to a +1 attack upgrade, nor do any kind of tech.
Yeah, he's going to have to make that choice very soon. He's making actually another Sentry, and I think we're going to see Stargate play. This is a great map for Stargate, and no, the answer is actually Robotics. I'm sorry, we'll try again next time. Robo played 2 games in a row, and that's really suiting his Observer style. Nice micro on the Zealot, make sure he gets up here to spot the 3rd base for sure.
Doesn't kill a single Zergling as Lenog moved 1 of them back, really well done. And Lenog now with a triple gas has no idea about the gateway, about the robotics facility just yet. He just doesn't know about it. +1 as well. So far it looks like we are going to see the push with Immortals and Sentries. We'll find out soon enough, and then of course the main question is how exactly will Lenog respond to this? What is his game plan here? What does he want to do?
And I mean, we saw him with a similar robotics timing last game. and then you just use it to expand. And in this case, Leonok may expect that again if he spots the Robo, but the timing for an attack is still there. He's still going to have to be very careful on a map like this. One of those gateways canceled, oddly enough, and then remade. That's a few resources wasted by Rain, but just probably a mistake there. Leonok's Overlord gets chased away. The Overlord to the south as well is still kind of sitting pretty over there, not able to see the robotics just yet. And 2 observers already queued up. I think we're going to see the same build from Rain 2 games in a row here.
For Leonok, it's going to be very important that he's able to delay his opponent's attack a little bit if he decides to push out. And that's what we are going to find out very, very soon, and that's the main thing. Are you able to make run-bys work? Do you have the creep spread so that you have early detection? There are additional gates. It doesn't look like Rain is going to do any kind of third-base play here. He wants to hit this 2-base timing, and if he is doing it, then Leonok needs to have something to slow his opponent down, to buy as much time as possible, and to prevent him from going up this choke point position into the third.
Yeah, and Leonok is still very much in the unknown about this, so if he doesn't know, then how can he prevent it? He will see these units moving across the map, but actually he's going to avoid the watchtower with these, which is so smart. Leonok actually still has no vision of them. Oh, wow. Rain, very sneaky here. No probe with this mix, which means no forward pylon. He's actually going to come in from the side. And this is actually a great position for Leonok to be in with these roaches like this. He's going to bait out some force fields for sure, and may even be able to target down one sentry, decides not to chase.
Would have been great if he could have killed one sentry or 2, but no, without speed, he just has no chance. And here comes the third base. Rain falls back, he spotted the units in the main base, he just pushed out with all the gateways that he has, decides to take the third base after all, doesn't hit this timing. And I think that's actually like pretty smart here, because Leonok so far looks really ready to engage and to make sure that a timing attack on 2 bases would not have been successful.
Yeah.
He didn't really overcommit to his economy. He has 64 at this point, which is at the 10-minute mark, still good. The 2 attack upgrades are done, and also the speed, of course. And
he's
here comes
getting drops. Yeah, and what is this going to be for exactly? That is the question. Will he try to drop in the main? I mean, that's the only location on this map where it's reasonable to do so. And he's going to spot the third base right now. He's very aware with these units. But Rain, with all his observers on the map, should be able to see this coming.
But dropping the main base is the strategy that we usually see when this happens. And I mean, TSL Zergs are really known to do this, but on the other hand, we had a lot of other Zergs even going for a very fast attack with Zerg wings and drop to pull it off. Right now, Leonok losing quite a few roaches against Rain when he was trying to take down the rocks here. No run by, sorry.
Yep, he gets denied, and he's going to lose some more links even with this. Leonok really struggling to find an opening, and actually if this drop is scouted and does little damage, the Rain is going to be in an insanely good position with how early he got his third Nexus up. Now with the tech he's got Blink, his +2 is probably going to start immediately here, and it does.
Even if it isn't scouted, Leonok has to be careful. Dropping into the main and doing damage is one thing. On the other hand, if he loses his entire army against the composition that we see, this might actually occur, then it's going to be devastating for Leonok as well. So he has to do a lot of damage here. And he needs to move the Overlords back. This is something that we see occasionally when a Zerg player for some reason doesn't move the Overlords back, and then he loses everything in his supply block as well.
Yeah, Rain was prepared for drop play, and then he moved his Stalkers away. His Observer did not see the massive Overlords, so he doesn't know. Now he's going to know, and he needs to get up there and get ready. And he sends his Stalkers in, but he needs the Immortal support as well.
And right now we have 130 army supply. He actually fakes him out here a little bit. Nope. Oh, if he drops at the third, that would actually be so brilliant right now.
Yeah, he's got Blink so he can blink down, but I mean, right now Rain doesn't really know what the next move is, and he's actually using the Force Fields against him here. I love this. Oh wow, Rain is in a lot of trouble, losing some units. He's got his Stalkers in a good defensive position. Now the Immortals are going to come into trap, but so much damage has already been done.
He needs to be careful though, because there are so many Immortals and now they're shielded by the building, so if he's actually sticking around with them, that might be very bad for him if he loses too many. But the sentries are way out of position, and nearly every single one of them dies. Only 3 are left at this point. The Stalks are moving down now, but the choke point is controlled by the roaches.
He's not using this choke point appropriately. I would have expected him to blink down with it once he got the Immortals through there. But fighting at that location actually gave Leonok a lot of advantages. The Nexus is killed now. Leonok will lose all of his roaches, and he is, not going to be supply blocked. So I think this trade works out okay for him. Rain has a timing of counterattack. Will he use it though? That is the question.
Leenock lost a lot more resources than Rain did, and at first, I'm actually not sure if Leenock's original idea was really to fake Rain out or if he just reacted to what he saw when the Stalkers moved up the ramp. Because he knew there was an observer, but he showed 2 of the Overlords, and I think it was actually a mistake. I don't think he intended to do it.
Yeah,
killing the natural is nice, but at this point it's also very dangerous.
I think it was reactionary. He saw the Stalkers and everything force field prematurely, and he was like, ha! How are you going to get out then? And then he just came right up into the natural. Leenock still has a group of units right in the middle of the map, and this is concerning because the amount of mortals and observers here will spot for the burrowed roaches. He's got zealots to tank damage as well. This is not going to be an army that Leenock actually wants to fight straight up. Well, I mean, I guess he does want to because he's doing it, but I'm not sure if this is going to be the right choice.
A pure roach army is not really all that successful if the Protoss player is banked up by a lot of immortals, and this is the case.
Oh wow, and now we can actually blink and chase these overlords. This is a mistake by Leenock. Oh wow, so many units are going to die here. Leenock drops them out though and gets the concave at the top of this ramp. He's got the watchtower as well.
Leenock playing a bit of one-trick pony style here.
Yeah, a little bit one-dimensional for sure.
No transition, nothing, just pure roach. And against this immortal count, we have 4 of them, 17 Stalkers, plus 2 attack nearly done. This is definitely a very, very risky thing to do.
Yeah, position-wise now he's in a good spot though. The corruption goes down one of these warp gates. The Stalkers are going to have to blink in, but he needs the support of the Immortals. The Immortals are way away from here, leagues away right now.
Leenock is still ahead in overall supply. He's trying to control the choke point right now. Here comes the warp in and the blink with the Stalkers. He takes a few of them apart. It's being chased away with the Zealots though. And he has to be very, very careful here. He's still maxed out and he's building so many roaches. Roach, roach, roach. That's what Leenock tries to do. And he's killing another Nexus. Well, maybe not. No.
Doesn't target, but the Nexus in the third base is a little bit vulnerable here. Few Zealots warped in, and with the Immortal coming to join with these cannons, if he micros correctly, he should be able to kill all these roaches without losing any Immortals. And this is starting to look like Rain may stabilize, but the attack is not over yet.
That's the bait question. Will Rain stabilize? If he does, if he doesn't take too much damage here, Leenock will at some point run out of steam, and then it's time for Rain to shine. At this point, though, we already have 19 workers killed by Leenock. The harvest count is currently 54 to 64 in favor of our FXO Zerg. But he needs to be so careful because he's going to run out of time here.
Yeah, he's going for another drop, and I don't like this because the Immortals are already ready this time in the main base. He pulls them back, and now all he needs to do is buy a little bit of time for his main force to arrive. He keeps units at his third, a little bit nervous here.
Force fields are decent. Is he sniping the Nexus? No, he is.
He's not targeting, yeah, so he's not going to get it, and this is a big problem. I mean, Leenock is continuing to try to make this work, but no infestation put on the way, just 19 more roaches.
He's all in here. He has to make this work. There's no 4th base. He's on 3 bases. If he doesn't trade cost efficiently, then he's going to lose this game. He needs to crush him now. 16,000 resource lost for Leenock, 10,000 for Rain. Roaches and more roaches are the weapon of choice for the Leenock-Octopus, while Rain is already getting the +3 attack upgrade for his units.
Yeah, and the units are being chased back now. He's got a second wave here. He needs to bring them all together while Rain is a little bit fragmented. And here we go. The Immortal count is still decent here. The Immortal, they're just doing so much damage with its +2 weapons.
7 kills in one of them. The rest of them all in the
26, 21. So many kills on these Immortals.
These roaches just don't stand a chance. Yeah. And now we have Archons as well.
He's going to blink and chase here.
Look where Leenock is trying to build his 4th.
Well,
what is this?
That's not going to work.
No, he's building the 4th actually in the middle of the map towards the Protoss player's space, and of course, it has been spotted already.
Seems like it's the last thing you would expect, except he saw it.
And look at the bank for Rain. He is so far ahead. Leenock is still ahead in supply, but guys, his unit composition is so bad at this point in time. It certainly looks like Rain is going to take this 2-0.
It's like Leenock is actually trying to climb Mount Everest in a wheelchair.
If you use this strategy, you definitely want to do damage. You need to do damage. You don't necessarily need to trade cost efficiently, but you need to do as much damage with the first drop as possible. And Leenock was not able to pull this off. He did a fair amount of damage, but he lost way too much. And the only thing that he basically killed was a little bit at the natural. He didn't kill the production. He didn't kill all the harvesters. He took down the Nexus. But all the tech units were still going strong for Rain. He wasn't even able to shut down the upgrades for his opponent.
Yeah. You can see that Rain's production is a little bit affected by this this attack earlier since he lost a few gates, and he's got a ton of minerals. Pathogen glands on the way as Leonok is attempting to transition here. The base to the right is spotted, which is really important. He's losing some roaches there. And, you know, Rain is just in the best position he can hope for right now, but this counterattack could be a problem if he misses his force fields.
The force field just in time, and he has actually the Progloss. Leonok is trying to make this work. He still has a chance here. Rain, if he now starts losing too much stuff, then he is still in a bad spot, but his army composition is just so much better. This roach attacks by Leonok are starting to whittling down Rain's supply though. This is actually just such a crazy game. Look at the bank for the Protoss. He doesn't have the production that he needs.
Yeah. And Leonok now with the Infestors, 2 of them on the way, 17 roaches as well. He did have to cancel the 4th base. The worker count right now though, very low for Rain. He's at 42 here. Really starting to look a little bit desperate for a fight. He wants to fight Leonok straight up, but Leonok keeps making him turn around.
Fighting him straight up is something that Leonok at this point cannot really afford. He needs to wait for the Infestors. This game is actually kind of insane at this point because it still could end up both ways, but Rain has such a great position here, and he always denies the base for Leonok. Both of them are on 3 bases.
Fungals are everything here.
Yes, indeed. He needs to have good fungals, and he takes down the Stalkers, but the Immortals, they are the big problem.
Yeah, the Immortal's still going strong here, and Leonok, I think, is maybe going to drop out. The Archon's leading the charge, taking so much damage. The Roaches to the south, trying to go for a counterattack. Leonok now 20 supply behind, hits another fungal. The Archon is being targeted down, but again, like you said, the Immortals are the big problem.
The Immortals have way too many kills already. Now they do the extra damage against the structures, taking down one of the hatches, and this will just make sure that Leonok doesn't have the production anymore. And he's just losing way too much. Yes, he controls the choke point here, but this doesn't give him an advantage anymore. He's down to 126 supply against 124, and that's just too much for the Protoss player. If he gets a couple of good fungals now and maybe the reinforcements to take this army apart, then he has a chance, but this is just such a stretch.
Yeah, it really is, and you should not actually fight with this smaller roach force. I'm not even sure why Rain is not destroying those roaches. Now he is. He needs to have more units together before he can fight this. He needs fungals, and he just doesn't have either of them. He's going to lose the infestation pit, which is actually a vulnerable location now.
And he needs to use his drones as well. He needs to pull the drones. Here comes another fungal. No, not quite.
He just doesn't quite have enough to get the snowball effect through. Takes out one Immortal here.
That was that second one, only one left. Is he able to take this down? This would be so important right now. But look at the supply. He's already at 70 against 125.
Ling's coming out, but they're not targeting the Immortal. GG! Oh, SK Telecom